Thank you very much, and thank you very much, Professor, for this very courageous speech, very clear speech also that you made. I'm an MEP from Luxembourg. My question is the following. What are the long-term consequences of this lost war? We lost the war, now we have an uncertain future for NATO. We have also clearly, and you referred to it, the marginalization of Europe. We have a strengthening of the BRICS countries, which can be rivals in many respects. So will there be a future for a collective West over the next 20 or 30 years? Thank you very much.
I don't believe there is a collective West. I believe that there is a United States and Europe that are in some areas in parallel interests and in many areas not in parallel interest. I want Europe to lead sustainable development, climate transformation, global decency. I believe if the world looked more like Europe, it'd be a happier, more peaceful, safer world. And longevity and better food, by the way. Just saying, in any event, Europe has a vocation that is rather different from the American tradition and, frankly, from the Anglo-Saxon tradition, because it's been 200 years of Anglo-Saxon hegemony or aspirational hegemony. The British still believe they run the world. It's amazing what nostalgia means. They don't even stop. It's almost like a Monty Python skit, actually. But in any event, where was I? I'm thinking of Monty Python when the knight gets all his limbs cut off and says, "Everything's fine, I'm victorious." That's Britain, unfortunately, and so it's really terrible. So no, I don't believe in the collective West. I don't believe in the global South. I don't believe in all these geographies don't even make sense, because I'm actually, I look at maps a lot, and the global South is mostly in the north, and the West is not even west, and so I don't even understand what this is about. I do believe that we could be in a true age of abundance if we got our heads on straight. We're in the biggest technological advance in human history. It's truly amazing what can be done right now. I marvel at the fact that somebody who knows no chemistry won the Nobel Peace Prize for chemistry because he's very good at deep neural networks, a genius, Demis Hassabis. They figured out protein folding that generations of biochemists spent their whole lives on. And now DeepMind figured out how to do it, by the thousands of proteins. We have friends that spent their entire life on one protein, brilliant friends. And now what we can do. So if actually, and same with renewable energy, as everybody knows, the prices come down by more than 2 orders of magnitude, the costs. We could transform the planet, we could protect the climate system, we could protect biodiversity, we could ensure every child gets a good education, we could do so many wonderful things right now. And so what do we need to do that? In my view, we need peace, most importantly. And my basic point is there are no deep reasons for conflict anywhere. Because every conflict I study is just a mistake. It's not, we are not struggling for Lebensraum. That idea that came from Malthus and that became a Nazi idea was always a wrong idea. It was a mistake, a fundamental intellectual mistake. An intellectual mistake, by the way, because leading scientists adopted the idea that we had race wars, we had national wars, we had wars of survival because we don't have enough on the planet. As an economist, I can tell you, we have plenty on the planet for everybody's development. Plenty. We're not in a conflict with China. We're not in a conflict with Russia. If we calm down, if you ask about the long term is very good, thank you. The long term, if we don't blow ourselves up, is very good. And so this is what we should aim for, a positive shared vision under international law. Because of our technology, things operate at a regional scale now. It used to be, it was villages, then it was small areas, then it was unification of countries. Now it's regional. That's not just because regions are wonderful, it's because the underlying technological realities say Europe should be an integrated area by transport, by fast rail, by digital, and so there's Europe. The politics follows the technological realities to a very important extent. We're in a world of regions now. So Europe should be Europe with subsidiarity. Don't lose all of the wonderful, wonderful national and local elements. But Europe should be Europe. So the good side is, I want Europe to have diplomacy, for example, with ASEAN. I spend a lot of time with the ASEAN countries. If the EU Green Deal, wonderful idea. I said many years ago, okay, to the ASEAN leaders, make an ASEAN Green Deal, and then talk with the Europeans so that you have this wonderful relationship, trade, investment, technology. So last year they announced an ASEAN Green Deal. What did Europe do about it? Nothing. It said, sorry, we're in the Ukraine war, thank you. No interest. So this is my point. The prospects are very positive if we construct the peace.
Because we have to go, I get all the time messages that I should leave the room.
Short.
So something very short?
Yeah.
It's very short, sorry. Yeah. Thank you a lot for the lecture. I wanted to ask, do you think way out of the conflict is some sort of style of Finlandization? And then also, do you think is that the way you would have liked to see, for example, Finland and Sweden's NATO process that do you think that a way out of the conflict is some kind of style of Finlandization? And then, is that what you would have, is that what you would have liked to see in, Sweden and Finland's foreign policy as an example? Is that, instead of them becoming members of NATO, is that the way that you would have liked to see these countries handle their foreign policy? And do you think that these countries that border Russia should just kind of succumb to their fate that, okay, we can't provoke Russia, this is the way we have to live? And then,
very good. Excellent question. And let me just report one part about Finlandization. Finlandization landed Finland #1 in the World Happiness Report year after year. Rich, successful, happy, and secure. That's pre-NATO. So Finlandization was a wonderful thing. #1 in the world. When Sweden and Finland and Austria were neutral, bravo, smart. When Ukraine was neutral, smart. If you have two superpowers, keep them apart a little bit. You don't have to be right with your nose up against each other, especially if one of them, the US, is pushing its nose into the other one. And so Finlandization, to my mind, has a very positive connotation. So does Austrianization. Austria, 1955, signed its neutrality. The Soviet army left, and Austria is a wonderful place, by the way. Absolutely wonderful. And so this is basic how to avoid conflict. If the United States had any sense at all, it would have left these countries as a neutral space in between the US military and Russia. But that's where the US lost it.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let me... I just want to end with an appeal. I think we both agree that we will have the war will end within a month or two. And that means the fighting will end. It doesn't mean that we will have peace in Europe. The peace in Europe, that has to be done by us, by Europeans, not by a president from the United States. We have to create this peace, and that is Europe, which includes, of course, Belarus, Russia, and all these other countries. So we have to do something. And we are here at Parliament. As parliamentarians, we represent people. We are the only legitimate, democratically legitimate institution in the European Union. Maybe we should have become all a little bit more proactive in trying to move this peace process forward across party lines. I think, I don't know how many parties here really are, but that we can talk to each other without saying, you're from this party, you're from this party. I think we really have to concentrate. If here we could not take more initiative from the Parliament vis-à-vis the Commission and saying, we are presenting the people, not you. We are presenting the people, and these people in Europe want peace, and that's what we should go. So maybe this is the beginning of one. We will make every month, I will organize with my colleagues the same thing here about different topics, which were all around it. And we hope that this one we get a discussion that is different what we have in the plenum, where we basically don't have a discussion, but that we have a discussion and also across the party, and invite also people from other political parties. We don't invite anybody. Let's discuss it. In the end, we all want the same peace for the next generation. And I have plenty of children and grandchildren, you too, and that's what we need. Okay, thank you very much, Professor.